What is going on, guys? This is Patrick Valentine here, and I am here for my fantasy draft. Now, I had this in my mind for a while. So, so this is why I came up with it, and my messenger is bugging me. But before I get into my fantasy draft, I took a screenshot of the draft that has been somewhat leaked. I guess some people could consider it as leaked, but we don't know if we don't know if this is true. This is true or not. So here it is here, guys. This is the photo. I took this screenshot. It's on my Facebook. I showed this to other people on Facebook. As you can see there, it's got AJ Styles on Raw, the Usos on Raw, Randy Orton on Raw, Becky on Raw, Seth Rollins on SmackDown, The Bar on SmackDown, Samoa Joe on SmackDown, and Sasha Banks on SmackDown. You know, some of them I really do not mind. I don't mind them. I guess AJ Styles is probably the only one that I do not like, because I think he still needs to be on SmackDown. SmackDown is his show. It is the house that AJ Styles built, after all. But other than that, man, let's get on with my fantasy draft. Now, I was thinking of writing it out on a book, but my handwriting is absolutely garbage. So I decided to do my picks through my laptop. Now, you won't be able to see it, but this is what I have come up with. I did 11. The reason why I did 11 is because I thought, I know 10, I was gonna do 10, but I guess I was kind of all over the place, and I didn't really know who to go for. So my apologies if mine's a bit messy. So here is who I would have sent over. So and also for Raw and SmackDown, I know I have chosen to do 5 call-ups. I have chosen to do actually 4. I actually counted. Mine's 4, not 5. Genius. Mine is 4 NXT call-ups and 11 trades. Now, I know 10 trades would have been better, but there were a few names I missed out, so that's why I made it 11. I think 11 might have been a good one anyway. First off, we'll start off with Monday Night Raw. First, we'll start off with Monday Night Raw. I have chosen Baron Corbin. I've kind of pictured Baron Corbin more on the Raw brand more than SmackDown. You know, his US title run was kind of bad. You know, they could have done better with it. He lost the Money in the Bank briefcase, and I feel like SmackDown Live could be SmackDown Live, Monday Night Raw. Excuse me. It would be a better brand for him, because I kind of more pictured him on the Raw brand. You know, him being Intercontinental Champion. That I've always pictured Baron Corbin as an Intercontinental Champion more than US Champion. But hey. Next, I am picking Becky Lynch to come over to Monday Night Raw. Becky Lynch, she really needs a brand change. Honestly, she really needs a brand change. It's something that I feel like it's something that she could need. She could head over to Monday Night Raw as a heel, because you could turn Becky heel against Charlotte, and then maybe you could have Becky, like, ultimately, you know, you could have Becky win, you know. But it's hard to say. It's very hard to say. Like I said, my women's division is kind of all over the place. I don't really know. But hey, there could be some other ones I had in mind as well throughout the draft as well. So yeah, Becky to Raw as a heel. I would say Becky to Raw as a heel. Next is the Usos. I think the Usos definitely need to move to Monday Night Raw. SmackDown Live has really been their show, but I think Monday Night Raw needs, more tag teams. More tag teams would be good for them. I feel like Raw definitely needs a team like the Usos, and because they've got teams like the Revival. They've got teams like the Revival and all that, and among other tag teams, but it's very difficult. It's honestly difficult in my opinion, but I think the Usos would be benefit on Monday Night Raw. Next person I would see going to Monday Night Raw is Randy Orton. I think this one is ultimately going to happen. I think Randy Orton is going to end up on Raw. As much as I really do not like him moving out of SmackDown, because SmackDown's my brand, but if Randy goes to Raw, then this is basically what it is, and it's a fantasy draft, so of course. And so I think Randy Orton being on Raw, it would be good for him. He could do well in the mid card. You could probably put the Intercontinental Championship on him, maybe. But it really all depends. They've got him in this feud with Bobby Roode. Maybe it's possible. Maybe it's possible that Randy Orton wins the U.S. title and he goes to Raw with it. He could go to Raw with the U.S. title, and whoever's Intercontinental Champion could go over to SmackDown with the Intercontinental Championship. So who knows? Who knows? Who knows at this point? It's very, very difficult. Next woman, a lot of people might be scratching their head at this one. Some people might be scratching their head at this one. I think Natalya could go over to Monday Night Raw. Some people might be asking you, Patrick, why Natalya? Why Natalya? Don't you think Naomi could have been a better option? Well, I thought about it. I was thinking either Natalya or Naomi. And the reason why I chose Natalya over Naomi is because I feel like Natalya needs to be on Raw. Raw really hasn't been her show. Obviously, some people might say SmackDown's Natalya's show. It kind of technically is, but I think Monday Night Raw might need someone like Natalya. She's very talented. She's got a lot of skill. She's a heart. She's a heart, and I think Monday Night Raw could need someone like Natalya. You could have her in the ring with Becky. You could have her in the ring with, Asuka, Alexa Bliss. That's one match I think is good to see. Natalya and Bliss, since they're pretty much good wrestlers, and among other women. I think Natalya, considering Paige can't wrestle anymore, you think someone like Natalya could be a big help for that division. Honestly, I think a lot of people are confused why I would pick Natalya, but I kind of gave my reasons. I think Monday Night Raw could need someone like Natalya. Maybe put over some younger talent. That's what Natalya could do. Next, I would think Kevin Owens could head over to Monday Night Raw, because I think when the Yep movement has come to its end, I think Kevin Owens is going to head back to Raw or Sami Zayn, depending on which one becomes the heel. Well, honestly, I think Kevin Owens needs to be the one to remain as the heel. Kevin Owens was better on Monday Night Raw. It was a better show for him. He could be a good mid-carder, main event guy. Kevin Owens is better off being on Raw, and I think Sami Zayn is better off being on SmackDown Live. You can get Sami Zayn to become a babyface. Like if Sami Zayn becomes the babyface, then ultimately Shane McMahon would want to keep the one that goes babyface. But it's hard to tell. It's very hard to tell when this whole Yep movement is going to come to an end. Tag teams now, I think, and I'm going to give you guys a very bold tag team change here. I am going to say Gable and Benjamin. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I think Gable and Benjamin could be a nice grab for Monday Night Raw, considering that they are a great tag team as heels. You could have Jason Jordan interact with Chad Gable. Now that he has a new partner, you could have Jason Jordan get jealous of Gable. He want to reform the American Alpha, but he's got Shelton Benjamin. He has Shelton Benjamin now as his new tag team partner. and because you know that they're heels. You know, you could have Gable and Jordan feud. You could have Gable and Jordan feud in a one-on-one situation. You know, it's pretty good. I think having Gable and Jason Jordan on one brand could be good, especially since you've got Gable as the heel and Jordan as the face. You know, you can have former American Alpha buddies butt head. I think that would be very good. This one's kind of a head scratcher as well. I only thought of this because I think Monday Night Raw might need some more mid-carders. Mojo Rawley to Raw. Why on earth would you move Mojo Rawley to Raw, Patrick? Well, Mojo Rawley, in my opinion, I just thought of this because I think this would just be one of those who cares slots. We need some slots who'd be those who care spots. Mojo Rawley, I think, because you know, Vince McMahon, since when he breaks up tag teams, sometimes the tag teams that break up, they normally change brands. So I see this as one of those situations that Mojo Rawley broke up with Zack Ryder only just to move him over to another brand. I don't see Mojo. I think SmackDown would be a good show for Mojo, but I think Mojo heading over to Raw, it could be one of those, oh, we broke up a tag team, so let's just move this guy to the other show. That's just my opinion. Another bold one for the women, Nikki Bella. What? Nikki Bella? I can understand why some people might be a little confused with this one because she's a part-timer. She doesn't really wrestle. Well, I think Raw could be a good brand for her because, you know, some people might say SmackDown needs Nikki more than Raw does, but kind of hard for me to think that because I think Raw was definitely Nikki's brand because of that whole Divas title run and all that shit. I don't know. I thought of Nikki Bella only because I was trying to think of some big names to move. I didn't really think of Charlotte because of a few reasons here. Because I have actually some reasons why for SmackDown when I bring that up, but ultimately, I thought Nikki Bella would go to Raw because I thought it would be good for the division because maybe they can get Nikki Bella to start wrestling a little bit more casually. So, have her be a casual wrestler, you know, have her show up every few weeks, you know, don't have her on every single week. You know, that's just what I thought of. I thought Nikki Bella being there maybe a couple times a week would be a good thing for the Raw brand. I don't know. I know some people might be wondering why would I make this decision, but hey, I'm trying to make mine a lot different. So yeah. Next tag team. This one's kind of a weird one, but I did this only because I thought of this one only because they needed tag teams. The Ascension, Connor and Victor. I think what I would do if, in order for me to take Connor and Victor seriously for Raw, is that I would have Connor and Victor turn heel on Breezango at some point and have them maybe on the pre-show at WrestleMania beat Breezango, and then ultimately this will move them over to Monday Night Raw. Because I think Connor and Victor, they're a great team. Connor and Victor are a good team. I think Raw could benefit them. Some people might say SmackDown would have benefited them. Yeah, SmackDown would have benefited the Ascension if WWE utilized them in the right way. This could be a reason why they haven't utilized them on SmackDown. They might eventually utilize them when they move them over to Monday Night Raw. But in order for me and many fans to take the Ascension seriously if they're going to move over to Raw, I would have the Ascension turn heel, beat Breezango maybe at WrestleMania, and then move them over to Raw and start building them up from there. And finally, my last choice for Monday Night Raw is just more like a please get him off my show. Please get him off this show, Jinder Mahal. I would move Jinder Mahal over to Monday Night Raw because I think Raw is a better brand for him. You know, having him hold the Intercontinental Championship or the US Championship, depending on if titles are going to change or not within the Superstar Shakeup. But a mid-card title would be good for Jinder Mahal on Raw rather if it's IC or US. I just think Raw is a better show for Jinder in my opinion. Jinder wasn't really given a fair go on Monday Night Raw, so I think moving the Maharaja the way he is now over to Raw would definitely be a good rub for him and for Monday Night Raw, at least to increase their mid card a bit more. And also there'll be some new people for Jinder Mahal to lock a sloppy class on. For NXT call-ups, now, 4 I've kind of gone in a bit of a weird way. So please, guys, go easy on me on this one. For NXT, I've chosen the Authors of Pain, Ember Moon, Cassius Ohno, and Pete Dunne. Now, some people might be confused with these because, well, the Authors of Pain are a no-brainer. Ember Moon is kind of a no-brainer because I can definitely see Ember Moon losing her championship at TakeOver. Cassius Ohno, I think he's just a guy that I think would be good for the mid-card, IC, good IC mid-card guy. Same thing for Pete Dunne. I think he'd be great for the mid-card, I think these people I chose would be great for Raw. Tag team, Authors of Pain, women's division, Ember Moon, and the mid-card, Ohno and Pete Dunne. Because I think Pete Dunne had a pretty good impression on Raw when they brought him in. Instead of putting him on 205 Live, you could have Pete Dunne, really work it out in the mid-card division on Monday Night Raw. Because I think Pete Dunne will definitely be a good thing for Raw. Same thing with Ohno. Because I think Raw needs more mid-carders. And I think that will be a good one. Would be a good one as well. Alright, so that is Monday Night Raw. Yeah, bit of an odd few draft choices there, but hopefully we can come up with more ideas for SmackDown Live for me. SmackDown Live, I would have Samoan Joe. This one's a no-brainer. Guys like AJ Styles, Bobby Roode, and Shinsuke Nakamura would be good for Samoan Joe. I think Joe would be, definitely better on SmackDown. Easily. You could put him in the WWE Championship. You could put the US title on him, or IC title, depending on if the US and IC are going to change. WWE will probably want to change the belts around, but if they're not going to change them around, then I'd say, you know what, Joe maybe US champion, Joe WWE champion. Any belt would be good for Joe, because I think Joe would be a great champion either way. Sasha Banks for SmackDown Live. This is obviously the best choice for Sasha. Sasha Banks, in my opinion, Sasha Banks should have been on SmackDown from day one. In my opinion, day one, Sasha Banks should have been on SmackDown. No ifs, no buts. Sasha Banks should have been on SmackDown Live from day one. WWE did not want Sasha Banks on SmackDown Live on day one. It's because they were doing this whole agenda of wanting to make Raw the best program, so they put all the best women on Raw to make people watch Raw. I think Sasha Banks would be better off on this brand, SmackDown. 2 hours. Be a better brand for her. And maybe SmackDown Live could do a better job with Sasha v. Flair. And then maybe in another year's time you could move Flair over to Raw. But maybe you could have a heel Sasha versus a face Charlotte instead. That's why I didn't want to move Charlotte. Because I had some better... Because maybe moving Sasha to SmackDown and maybe reliving their feud there and actually making it better than what it was on Raw would be a good thing. The Bar, this is an obvious one for SmackDown. I would consider breaking them up. I was considered maybe breaking them up and just having Cesaro, but I guess having them both is better, but I don't know. I just thought, well, I guess I shouldn't be saying I don't know. The Bar, obviously, is definitely needed for SmackDown. Fresh opponents for them. They can move on, be a dominant tag team on SmackDown Live. Feud with Rusev Day. Feuds with, other tag teams they've got there. The Bar would be good. The Bar would be good for SmackDown. Like with the New Day. other tag teams they've got there. I think the Bar would be a good team for SmackDown because they can be like the top guys of SmackDown. SmackDown Tag Team Champions. Finn Balor for SmackDown Live. Finn Balor. This is definitely a no-brainer, and I'd have Gallows and Anderson as well. They were on this list as well. Gallows and Anderson, the Balor Club. Can you imagine? The Balor Club and AJ Styles, man? Imagine all four of them in one group, or maybe them as a group. Maybe them as a group, or AJ Styles not liking how Finn Balor handles the club, and he wants to get in on the fun with the whole club. You can have a club angle. You could have a pretty good club angle with AJ Styles and Finn Balor. If you have AJ Styles as WWE Champion, you could have Finn and Styles go over the WWE Championship. But I guess some people would rather see Shinsuke Nakamura as WWE Champion out once WrestleMania is over. So maybe you could put Finn and Styles in the mid-card over the US title. I don't know. You could do something with these two. I think a Styles-Finn Balor feud with this whole club thing would be pretty good as well. Can you imagine that? Maybe a heel Finn Balor and Gallows and Anderson. Like, you could have Finn Balor turn heel on AJ Styles if you really wanted to. I'm probably going to be questioned a big for this one. The only reason why I chose this is because I thought of an idea of a breakup. That is Mandy Rose to SmackDown Live. I thought of a breakup with Absolution to occur some point in the future. I think I don't think there's any reason for Absolution anymore. No, I'm not going to drop Mandy Rose and Deville to NXT because I'm not a dick. I'm not going to do that. Why would I do that? That is just stupid. I really hate when people say people should get dumped to NXT. If you're not good enough, get sent back to NXT. Please, give me a break. I don't like that idea. Once you're called up to the main roster, you stay there. You just find a brand that's better for them. I think Mandy Rose moving to SmackDown would be good for her, End of Absolution. You can have her own character. You can have Sonya Deville with her own character. And you can develop these two characters as solo acts. I did think of an idea of having Goldust on SmackDown as well. Maybe you could have Mandy Rose as a valet for Goldust. But it really all depends. But that's just what I thought of. Mandy Rose to SmackDown. I know some people probably be questioning that as well. What a stupid move. Hey, at least it's better than having Absolution, right? Is it better than having Absolution? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it'd be better than having Absolution. Woken Matt Hardy, yes! If Jeff Hardy's coming back as Brother Nero, then I'd say keep Matt Hardy on Raw. But as a solo guy, I think SmackDown is better for Matt Hardy. SmackDown has always been Matt Hardy's show. Honestly, like all my years of watching WWE, Matt Hardy has always been SmackDown. He's always been SmackDown. He's always been a SmackDown guy. Some people might say, well, Jeff Hardy's a SmackDown guy as well. Both of the Hardys are SmackDown guys. You could move them both. Well, yeah, that's a possibility. But you would think, but Jeff Hardy, in my opinion, I think Jeff Hardy would be better for Raw because at least, Raw has some decent people. Like I said, you need decent people for Raw's mid-card. I think Jeff Hardy would be a good slot for that mid-card, so keep him on Raw. And I think Matt Hardy would be a nice fit for the mid-card of SmackDown Live and maybe a higher main event status to the WWE Championship if they can book Matt Hardy right. I did have Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson on here, but because I mentioned them with Finn Balor, I'm not going to go over them. This one, again, is another flop. This was just another who cares trade slot like Mojo Rawley. Big Cass. Again, it was just another one of those ideas of thinking, okay, well, this guy broke up a tag team on Raw. maybe move them over to another brand and refreshing them on a different brand would be a good idea. That's why I thought of Mojo Rawley to Raw and Big Cass to SmackDown. Because I thought maybe freshening them up on 2 different brands would be better for them. So, Big Cass, I think he should return on SmackDown. Really all depends when he comes back. That's if they even draft him, when he's injured or not. So yeah, this Mojo Rawley and Big Cass was just a who cares slot. I think Big Cass would be good for the mid card, honestly. Now this one makes more sense than Nikki Bella, but this was just all I could think of just to try and even things out. Bayley to SmackDown. Now I thought of Bayley to SmackDown because I think Bayley, for whatever reason, when I first seen Bayley, I always saw her as a SmackDown person instead of Raw, like Sasha Banks. You know, I don't know why, I never really liked Bayley, but for whatever reason, I felt like SmackDown is kind of a show for her. You know, Blue. Whenever I think of underdogs, I think of Blue. SmackDown is a Blue brand, and that's what Bayley is, an underdog. So, having underdogs on a Blue brand is definitely fitted, like Ty Dillinger, like Sami Zayn, like Bayley. Underdogs are better fitted for SmackDown. Also, like with Finn Balor, underdogs are better fitted for a Blue brand. That is why I think whenever I see an underdog, I immediately think of Blue, because that's what SmackDown is, a Blue brand. That's what an underdog is. I feel like underdogs need to be on a Blue brand. So that is why I moved Bayley. That's why I thought of the idea of moving Bayley to SmackDown, because of the fact that her character is supposed to be an underdog. And yeah, that's why. Rather they bring her in as the heel, or whether they bring Sasha Banks in as the heel, it really all depends with the storyline that they're doing right now on Monday Night Raw. This tag team slot that I chosen for Connor and Victor as their trade, I guess you could say one jobber tag team for another jobber tag team, Titus Worldwide to SmackDown Live. You know, Worldwide SmackDown Live. But so yeah, honestly, I feel like SmackDown is a better brand for them. I feel like SmackDown's a better brand for them. Raw just isn't really, not really clicking with them on Raw. I think a different brand would be good for Titus Worldwide or Titus Catering, because that's what some people like to call them. But, you know, Dana Brooke, Titus O'Neil, Apollo Crews, yeah, I think SmackDown will be good for them. And then you can get Dana Brooke and stop having Dana Brooke dressed like a friggin' whatever she's supposed to be, and get her and take off those nerdy glasses and whatever those weird clothes she wears. And have her put on some ring gear. Start getting her in the ring, because I think Dana Brooke would be needed for that SmackDown Women's Division. In what way? Maybe being a total trash bag jobber. I don't know, because you got some good names on there. So you can definitely have Dana Brooke replace Lana as the go-to girl just to get squashed every single week. And finally, Seth freaking Rollins to SmackDown Live. I feel like Seth Rollins can easily be the number one babyface of SmackDown, or even the number one heel, depending on how you feel about Seth Rollins. Because, like I said, like SmackDown's got some pretty good names right now, as you've seen from this draft. Joe and Finn, you know? And you got AJ, Rude, and Nakamura. You know, some good names for SmackDown, man. That's some great names for SmackDown. Because you can throw Woken Matt Hardy in there, but, you know, that's some big names for SmackDown. SmackDown's looking really big right now with the people that I thought of here on this fantasy draft. With this fantasy draft idea that I had. Now, yep. So, yeah, Seth Rollins to SmackDown, because he needs to get away from Roman Reigns. You know, Roman Reigns is just holding Seth back. I feel like SmackDown would be a good division for Seth. Maybe you could bring Dean Ambrose over to SmackDown as well. You can have him come back and turn heel on Seth on the Blue brand. But it really all depends. But yeah, Seth Rollins to SmackDown Live. As for NXT call-ups, My NXT call-ups, I would have Sanity on SmackDown. Some people might think they're better for Raw, but I think no matter what brand, it's good for them. Sanity, as well as Nikki Cross, the iconic duo, Drew McIntyre, and Andrade, Cien Almas, and Zelina Vega. Oh, wait, what? Why are you saying Almas and Zelina Vega? You know that Almas is the NXT champion. Guys, do you think I'm stupid? Guys, settle down. Do you guys really think... Do you guys honestly believe Andre Cien Almas is going to last, take over New Orleans as the NXT champion? I know for a fact he's going to lose the title to Aleister Black. Otherwise, I would have put Aleister Black in this position. Andre Cien Almas and Zelina Vega, I think they'll be on their way to the main roster. I was thinking of Johnny Gargano. I was thinking of putting Johnny Gargano in this position. But, honestly, it was very hard. It was very hard for me to pick. It was either me picking Almas or Gargano. But I had to pick Almas because I think it's very, very predictable that he's going to lose the NXT Championship to Aleister Black. If Almas beats Aleister Black at New Orleans, I will be shocked. But I can bet my money that Aleister Black is going to beat Almas at New Orleans. That's why I had Andre Cien Almas in this position. So anyway, guys, that's it. That is my fantasy draft. I hope you guys liked my fantasy draft. Some of the wrestlers you might not agree with, like maybe Mojo and Cass and Natalya, Nikki. Maybe you guys can try and think of maybe some good reasons why you think I picked them. Maybe my reasons weren't good enough, but yeah, this was my fantasy draft. I hope you guys liked it. Hit that thumbs up if you liked it. Comment your thoughts down below on my fantasy draft, and did you like it? Were there things that made you scratch your head? But overall, guys, that is my fantasy draft. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys next time. Too sweet out to use. And that video I was planning on making, I guess I will save that until, I don't know. Whenever I say I'm going to make a video, normally I scrap it. Maybe Thursday or Friday, because I have my Raw and Smackdown reviews up by then. Anyway, guys, thank you all for joining me. I hope you guys liked the draft. This draft, fantasy draft I did, and I'll catch you all later. Too sweet out to use.